A couple hundred students at North Dakota State University are making their voices heard after an alleged racist Snapchat group surfaced earlier this week. Valley News Team's Devin Fry joins us from the NDSU campus with the latest from the protest. Devin.
Thanks, Andrea. Protesters are just now stopped. They've been marching since about 2 o'clock this afternoon. They have now stopped at a field next to the Old Main Administration Building. They're protesting the school's handling of a Snapchat group chat containing racist language involving students here at NDSU. Now, they met up here in front of the NDSU Memorial Union at 2 this afternoon and walked through various roadways around campus, many chanting and carrying signs. They even stopped in front of the dorm where the students allegedly stay who were involved in that Snapchat group. So trying to get their voices heard. Their main mission is to get through to administration, get some reforms throughout how the school handles incidents such as this. We're going to have much more on this tonight at 5, 6, 9, and 10, so stay tuned. But for right now, reporting from the NDSU campus, Devin Fry, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Devin. Today, Congress voted to remove marijuana from the Federal Controlled Substances Act once and for all. The House of Representatives approved the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act this morning. In a nutshell, it decriminalizes cannabis and clears the way to erase nonviolent federal marijuana convictions. It will also create pathways for ownership opportunities in the emerging industry. Today's vote marks the first time a full chamber of Congress has taken up the issue of federally decriminalizing cannabis. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says there is momentum building in Congress toward passing a COVID relief bill after months of a partisan impasse. Pelosi says Democrats are excited about a $908 billion proposal from a bipartisan group of senators introduced earlier this week. The Speaker has previously demanded a $2 trillion relief bill. Asked why she's now open to a smaller package, Pelosi says it's because Joe Biden is becoming president and has, in her view, an effective COVID plan and a vaccine is imminent.
So all of that is to come to this place to say there is momentum. There is momentum with the action that the senators and House members in a bipartisan way have taken.
The $908 billion bill includes aid to state and local governments, school funding, $300 weekly federal unemployment insurance, and some liability protections for businesses from COVID-related lawsuits. The CDC is now recommending universal mask use indoors when social distancing cannot be maintained. The new guidelines come as the U.S. reported a record high number of COVID-19 cases yesterday. Elise Preston reports from New York.
With more than 100,000 people currently hospitalized in the U.S. with the coronavirus, medical professionals are describing the toll the pandemic is taking on them.
Patients that are dying in front of our eyes. My nurses cry in the middle of the day when they see their patients dying.
72-year-old Janice Brent of Chicago died of the virus just 10 days ago.
I couldn't go to Chicago. I couldn't be with her. I couldn't hold her. I couldn't hug her. I couldn't even see her. And the last time I hugged her was, a year ago, and she's gone.
In California, where hospitalizations have soared nearly 200% in the last month, business owners are bracing for strict new lockdown orders that go into effect when ICUs reach 85% capacity, likely in the next few days.
It will greatly affect us before Christmas. It's our busiest time of the season.
Help is on the way. The head of the Food and Drug Administration says 20 million Americans could be vaccinated this year, following a review of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine next week.
We have all hands on deck, and we expect to move very quickly after the Vaccine Advisory Committee.
It's up to each state to prioritize which of its residents receives the initial doses of the vaccine. Here in New York, the state says healthcare workers and nursing home residents will be the first groups to get it.
New York expects to begin inoculations by mid-December. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Pfizer had to cut its production target for the end of the year in half because of issues with ingredient standards. But the company says the U.S. is still on track to receive 20 million doses by the end of the year. Up next, as COVID cases spike around the country, unemployment concerns ramp up too.